Good morning, good people. It's been a while. Since we've been in studio. Good morning. This is Spade podcast. We are back. Cordell, he's on the way into the studio, and my cousin G, he's on the way to the studio too. So they'll be here shortly. A lot has happened since since the last time we were in studio. Obviously, the comments that Cam had made a couple weeks ago on that podcast, as far as saying how, women should, stay in their place and basically know when to be quiet. That stirred up a whole lot of controversy and basically got a whole bunch of people talking. And then obviously, recently, within the past, I say, day and a half now, the Godfather, Kevin Samuels, he passed away from a heart attack at the age of 56. And that has created a lot of conversation all across the world just about, what his impact and what his legacy will be going forward and whatnot on both sides between men and women. So, I made it a point to say that, his work will live on. I damn sure going to try to keep the conversations going as much as possible because at the end of the day, like he said, life is about people. Life is about people and the outcomes that you want out of it, So if you want to grow old and be alone and whatnot, that's cool. That's your prerogative, but be able to pay for yourself as you get older. Right. If you want to have a family and, have a legacy, which is what a lot of us men want and whatnot, put yourselves in a position to ensure that happens. All he did was, like you said, Daryl, all he did was his platform gave us men the type of empowerment we've always wanted, but couldn't have because we were either afraid to be bashed about what our feelings and emotions are with certain things, or we just wouldn't be allowed to even have that type of space to communicate those feelings. So real quick, what are your thoughts on just the Godfather and whatnot?
Man, I believe that his impact will continue to live on. I believe that now he'll have a greater impact. Now it sparks, because a lot of people, believe it or not, a lot of people did not even really know about him in full detail. So now it's going to cause people to really go back and see what he was talking about. And it's funny because I looked at his latest video.
Yeah,
it was at 250,000 views, and then overnight I looked because it was still playing. I clicked on YouTube. It's at 587,000 views overnight. So what that means is that people now are looking to see what did he really talk about, and so I believe he leaves a legacy. His teachings will live on. They say the goal is to not live forever, but to do something, build something, create something that does. Like he did that. It's tough, man. That life is cut short, but that also raises the awareness as well as a ripple effect for us men to make sure that we're on top of our health. Because it was heart failure. He died, cardiac arrest is what they're saying that he died from. So it'll force us to really look into be more aware of our health. So sad day in the world.
I was always, and we didn't get a chance to talk about this offline before we started, but I was always concerned with how many Red Bulls he was drinking.
I know. I said the same thing, bro.
Every time he would drink those Red Bulls during his show, I was like, man, please find an alternative way to keep your energy up on the show, because them Red Bulls, after a while, man,
bro. And what's crazy is he was already born with a heart condition.
Oh,
he said that. He said that. He said that he was born with a heart condition and he survived cancer twice. Gio, what's going on, man? All right, good. Likewise. So yeah, he was already born with a heart condition and he survived cancer twice. So
right, I knew about that.
Yeah.
Right, yeah.
So I mean, that combination could not have been good any kind of way, So
I was sad, man. It was actually sad to see people celebrating.
I know, right? I'm
like, you don't got to agree with what he's
Exactly.
saying, you know, and all that. But come on, respect the day.
right. Like it's like y'all want this man dead more than, and I don't wish that to nobody.
Nah,
But,
of course
you
not,
got George Simmons signing autographs on freaking Skittles, and y'all want this man who's actually trying to help us, ain't kill nobody, ain't hurt nobody, ain't he touched nobody.
You said who?
George Simmons.
Oh, yeah.
Crazy, bro. It's like y'all weird.
Weird as hell, bro.
Yeah,
Yeah,
we
my condolences to that man.
Yeah.
Condolences to his family. It was sad, bro. It was sad to hear that.
He's still somebody's father. He's still somebody's son, somebody's brother, somebody's friend outside of his platform.
That's a fact.
And-
I didn't even recognize that he was, you know, drinking Red Bull because my uncle went through that. He had a heart problem. He used to work late night and all that. He had to get surgery and all that.
Yeah,
That's,
bro. Yeah.
That's
Because them Red Bulls, it make your heart pump more. That's how you get the energy, you know what I'm saying? So
that's a fact.
and then, you know, low key, I heard he popped the blue chew too.
I heard that too.
so that combination could not have been good. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? That combination could not have been good.
Yeah, man. Like I told you there, I watched. Yeah, well, you know too, Scoop. I mean, I watched his shows every day, YouTube, Instagram, even going back when he was doing them heavy on Facebook. I watched them all the time, and you know, like me and Daryl was talking about before y'all walked in, like he helped change a lot of
Absolutely.
my image.
Oh, absolutely.
As far as fragrances and suits, how to wear it, certain shoes to wear.
Yeah.
I had no idea you can put one fragrance on in the morning and turn around and put another one, a whole different one on in the evening for the evening.
Yep.
I had no idea you can do that. I just thought you just rock
Even
one.
where to put the fragrance, he talked about on his show, like where to it last the
spots
longest.
and all
Yeah,
that, yeah.
he talked about. They don't want to talk about that.
They don't want to talk about that. They don't want to talk about how the same energy that she gave the females, he gave the men.
Thank you.
Even more.
How about he
Thank you.
started off doing that?
That's what I'm saying. He
Thank you.
started off doing that.
Yeah.
He made me look in the mirror. I was like, damn, I'm overweight. Damn, I don't know.
And see, you see how you took it. You see how you took it. He's like, all right, bet.
Yeah, I
You
look
tell him,
myself
"Who's she
in the mirror."
overweight?
You
Who
know
are
what I'm
you?
saying?
Accept me for
Yeah.
who I am. Look at Lizzo.
But
I
we
think the
talk-
biggest thing with him for me was show your work.
That's it.
Yeah,
That
that's a
show
fact.
your work part, like you can say what you want about his tone, right? People always have this issue about tone. It's tonal. Man, what he was saying was literally common sense and deductive reasoning.
Exactly.
Like, if a man has options, of course he's gonna pick the best option.
Absolutely.
If a woman has options, of course she's gonna pick the best option.
And he's
That's
going to
literally
exercise
all
the
he-
options
That's-
before he settles.
He's gonna figure out which one is truly the
Exactly.
best. Same thing that a woman's gonna do. She's gonna figure out which option is truly the best.
Yep.
That's all he ever said.
And he was
Nothing
saying,
but
just
common
raise your
sense.
value, man.
That's
Raise
a
your
fact.
value so that way you can have better options.
That's a fact. They always talk about how what men got to do, you know what I'm saying, to raise their development, you know what I'm saying, to raise their stuff so people can come after them. Well, y'all got to do the same thing. Y'all got to
Facts.
show y'all worth too. Why is it all about us and y'all got to do nothing? We talked about it on the show. It's about it's mutual.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Just because I got to do it, you got to do it too. Like, don't act like you don't got to do nothing. Why you just got to stay there and be pretty?
Yep.
Nah, show your worth.
Facts.
You know what I'm saying? Some women out here, I ain't gonna do no wifely duties until I'm a wife. How am I know you're gonna be a wife if I don't see it?
Remember, because we've all been following each other on social media for a while. But
Yeah.
remember on my Facebook, I will always create like different conversations, just asking certain questions on both
Stirring it up,
sides.
yeah.
Just like to stir it up, not really to stir the pot, but just to create conversation.
Yeah.
And certain conversations I will have tailored towards us as the guys. Here come all the ladies like,
Exactly.
yeah. But in the middle, it was some criticism towards them about certain things that I see. It's nah, I didn't like that. Like, what
It's
you
a lack
mean?
of accountability.
Right.
And I see in our generation a lot, man. And it's not all women, because I don't want
Right.
y'all podcast
Right.
to get canceled.
No.
all I'm
It
saying.
ain't gonna get canceled.
You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? I don't want to
Yeah.
hear.
I'd say
But
some shit
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Okay. You know what I'm saying? But it ain't all women. We'll say that it ain't all women. But a lot of women in this generation, and I blame social media for it, they duck or they kind of, evade accountability. You know what I mean? And I love that soundbite that he has where he be like, I am a strong, independent woman. Because it's like that backfires on you so much. because you don't even get it. You think you so independent, but
I'm a PhD.
Shorty, yeah, I'm a PhD, but Shorty, you driving a freaking Altima, right? The engine ticking. You know what I'm saying? The tires bald. You need something, a man in your life to help guide, not to help you live, but just guide you, because there's some things that we know that we were taught that we picked up on.
Change that goddamn battery in the smoke detector.
Exactly. Oh my goodness. He said the single women indicator is the beep.
Hey, that's a fact, bro.
You know what I'm saying? You ever talked to a female on the phone, you hear that beep. He's like, oh yeah, she's single mother, single by herself.
I don't know why.
And it's funny, that one show he was like, you don't hear that? She's like, what? He's like, that what? He's like, man.
But see, that's how out of touch they are with reality sometimes.
Yeah, bro.
Like that small example right there. Like you don't even have the sense of awareness to realize that you need to change your battery in your smoke detector. You don't even realize it's going off.
Right. That's a hazard. You know what I mean?
That's a hazard.
You got a child in the house, or you living by yourself.
And I think she had a kid.
Yeah, she did.
I think she had a kid.
That's crazy.
You know, he kept it real, and I was telling Vic, I was like, man, what's crazy is he just said stuff that we've been already thinking, bro.
Yes,
like men already been thinking that, we just never said it for fear that we might get canceled or might get attacked or never had a platform to say it on a large scale. Mm-hmm. But he said things that we already think.
Yes,
like we already know, bro. Like when we looking for our significant other, we don't want no woman with a child already. Guess what? I mean, let's be real. I mean, you might fall in love with someone that has a child, but I mean, naturally, you're not necessarily looking for one that already has a child directly. Why? Because you know that's gonna come with baggage. You know what I'm saying?
What people don't realize is it's not that we saying that we wouldn't accept the woman or love that woman. What we saying is when we go out at night,
it's not our first choice.
We're not like, hey, where the baby mothers at?
Exactly.
That's not our first choice. Right.
However, if we find a woman, we think she's attractive, she got the mental, she got everything going. Okay, cool, we can go from there.
That might be something.
But
our
intention was never to go find somebody's baby mother.
Exactly. Because you got to think about it.
Go ahead.
Because when you think about it, right? If we're coming in, if we do settle and get married, we're the stepfather.
Mm-hmm.
We're not creating that family. We're building on something that's already there.
Somebody had already molded that child. You know what I'm saying? And there's so much you can say from the stepfather. Depends on the relationship.
Right.
Because sometimes, you know what I'm saying, they got sperm donors, and you know what I'm saying, the stepfather will come in and that's that man he needed. You know what I'm saying? Everybody don't got that luxury though.
Right, facts.
You know what I'm saying?
Facts.
Or they got that baby father that still want the baby. You know, it's a lot that you gotta go through that. I don't want to go through that.
Facts, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I don't want to go through that. That's like a burger with jalapenos on it. It's okay, but I'd rather no jalapenos on my shit. I don't want them seeds, and that's all right. I don't want all that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I'd rather not deal with that. You know what I'm saying? That's all I'm saying.
And just getting women to understand. It's not like, okay, you're not washed. You know what I'm saying? It's just saying, like, you got to understand, men see that differently than you might. You still, okay, you might think you have a lot of value, but the man is also seeing, okay, well, you also come with a little extra baggage that now I got to really make sure that you're worth it.
That you got to pay for.
You know what I'm saying? Because I got to fund that child now. I got to raise that child. I got to, if I got to end up disciplining this child, are you going to step in and be interfering, me disciplining and raising that child?
I look at it like this. Like, I have clients who have stepkids, right?
Mm-hmm.
One guy that I worked with multiple times, right? First time I sold him a house, he bought a condo. 12th floor, 2-bedroom, playish. I'm talking about fly.
Mm-hmm.
Now he has a significant other who has a daughter. Now his needs have completely changed.
Absolutely.
Right.
What he can, not even what he can, but what he's looking for and what he's accustomed to have now dramatically changed because he made that one decision to basically fall in love and stay in love with the woman that, you know, he is with.
Yeah.
So as a man, it takes a toll on you mentally, financially.
Financially, for sure.
And the financial part is key because, I mean, Kevin Samuels even said it on the show a few times. Now, you know, it's not just him and that woman going to dinner, it's him, that woman, and her child, that other man's child. You know what I'm saying? So when it come to vacation, it's not just like I just left from vacation. I took my mother and my sister to Orlando to Disney World. Bro, that's a $600 day, and just to walk into the park, like just to walk in, that's 3 feet. Now, if it was 2, it might have been 400. You see that? Like that's 2 extra $100 that you could have been using against something else. Like anything. Like so, it definitely it switches your whole.
He opened up a lot of things that we kind of already think about it, but he just brought it to the conversation. He brought it to the table for us to have an open conversation on both sides.
Yeah, I just think
an honest conversation.
Yeah, I just think he gave a nasty taste in people's mouth because he was so bold and he had no cut cards.
Yeah.
And he was slightly disrespectful. But, you know what I'm saying?
And even that is all relative to what you consider to be disrespectful.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because in some, like, for example, so my family is from the islands, right?
Yeah.
And so we naturally, people from the islands, you kind of talk rougher to each other, right? But if you don't come from that culture, you would think, oh, they about to blow, they about to go to blows. But we having fun, you know. We'll cuss each other out and then go have some fun. You know what I'm saying? Or make dinner or whatever to be all right. But in another culture, you might have talked to them for years for that. So I think so. So it's all relative and subjective to your point of view, perspective. You know what I'm saying?
But whenever I hear the whole disrespect thing for him, though, it kind of like triggers me though, because people have to understand, why did he get to that point where he was disrespectful? Because Kevin, and because you know I watched him a lot. He doesn't go to that point unless you come to his platform with an agenda or for some clout. Because I'm gonna make you famous.
Right, exactly. I'm gonna make you famous.
But that's the argument. That's the argument. Like a lot of.
That was his favorite word. I swear to God, I don't got time about these all fat broad, these hoochies on my shit. Nah, I don't got time for that. They cut you off real quick.
Yeah, I mean, because that's the argument a lot of women would say was, well, he was disrespectful. Okay, but why did he get to that point? You know what I'm saying? If you come onto his platform with an agenda, or you being disrespectful towards him because you already have it in your head how you already feel,
I'm gonna set him straight,
and you don't want to be coachable. Exactly. And you don't want to be coachable. Well, then I mean, you kind of got what's coming to you.
Right.
You gotta see the message. You know what I'm saying? When we was playing football, you know what I'm saying, they used to cuss us ass out. But we had to listen to the message. You know what I'm saying? Even though it came a little rough, you know what I'm saying? Your fat ass, you need to play better. You know what I'm saying? So fuck the fat ass, play better. You know what I'm saying? Listen to that part.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? Listen to the message, not how it going. You know what I'm saying? Like kind of like how Boosie be talking that shit, but people don't want to hear it because his vernacular and how he say it.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? He ain't really say nothing wrong when it came to Dwayne Wade's son, daughter. You know what I'm saying? But, you know what I'm saying, the way he said it, just listen to the message. Listen to the message what the man was trying to say. You know, let that man, let him live, and when he get older, then have the decision, you know, to do, you know, to fully transition. Don't do it now. That's all he was saying. Listen to the message. People don't listen to the message and listen to how it's coming out. Listen to the message.
Yeah. The other part too, it come down to, I believe, on the way that people think men should talk to women. Like we've got to a culture where it's almost simp talk. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's a
fact. So it's like you know, they think that's a
fact.
So they think that, you know, we're supposed to talk a certain way, and because he didn't talk that way that the world has created, that simp talk, like, oh, he's disrespectful. No, he's just stern. I mean, he's like my father is. I grew up with parents a little bit older. I'm the youngest, right? My father wasn't disrespectful to my mom, but he had a stern way he talked. And if a lot of my friends, when they came to the house, oh damn, your dad mean. It's like, nah, I don't see him as mean. He's just stern. He just went with the nonsense. You know, you're not gonna be out of place. There's a certain time when you talk. And so with us men, like we don't necessarily over talk each other, but women do that a lot. And all he did was check women, like, whoa, don't over talk me. I'm gonna say what I need to say, and then you're gonna say what you got to say. Right. But if you're blabbering, I'm gonna interject. Because we got to stay on topic.
That's right.
And I got a show to run.
Yeah.
So, have y'all noticed that in your personal lives, like with women?
Yes.
Like sometimes you have to like kind of set that tone, because if not, you'll get ran over. Like
absolutely.
And I don't know if it's just like, you know, some women like to say, oh well, if you were that type of man, you wouldn't have to do that. No, you got to set expectations.
That ain't the case. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You got to show people how to treat you, man, woman, child. You know.
That's a fact.
So like, I don't think that he's necessarily wrong. Now, sometimes was his tone a little too far in certain cases.
It was a little excessive.
It was a little excessive sometimes, but it's a show. It's banter. You know what I'm saying? It kind of is what got his views.
Yeah.
So at the end of the day, when you call a person, you can't get mad for getting exactly what you called for. That was my only issue with people not liking him, and really to me it was just like, you know, he was doing nothing but explaining to you common fucking sense. If you are 50 got 7 kids, you are not gonna get a nigga
Desirable.
who's 50 that got 20 million and can take care of everything.
Exactly.
9 times out of 10, once he see the number 7
Yep.
and then kids after it, he gonna be like, man, god damn, I got 20 million, but I don't got that much. Like he's gonna something is gonna, even if he don't admit that it's the kids.
Yeah, right.
He's gonna figure something out,
Right.
so where he can lessen his overhead. That's really what it come down to. And people, well, it's the matter of the heart, and we just accounted for the matter of the heart
Yeah,
in the
absolutely.
beginning. If we meet a woman and we fall in love with her and we can't help it,
Exactly.
cool. But most men, that heart shit only lasts for so long, especially if you a
It's what
man
you
and you've
worth
been
it.
out here on
Right.
your
Are
own.
you worth it? You know what I'm saying? We talked about it on the show. A great man named YK Osiris. That man said, I can give you the world, baby girl. You just got to be worth it.
Yep.
You just got to be worth it.
And that's
you
all he
talk
talked
this
about.
stuff. Just be worth what you want to have. Be worth it. You know what I'm saying? I got to be worth it to get you. Why you can't be worth it to get me?
But see, and that's the
Make
thing.
sense?
Like as men, like we have to build ourselves up
Oh, my
Yeah.
mama.
to be that.
Be that, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Women, they can just, not saying they don't have to do the same amount of work, but for the most part, their beauty is what
All they show, most of them, all they have on the table. I'm
exactly,
killed.
exactly.
What else?
Right.
I got fat ass. Girl,
Okay.
what else? Like, what the
Yeah.
hell?
Oh, I can cook.
What else?
What else?
Well, see,
What else?
This the thing.
I don't
too,
need a
though.
cookbook.
This the thing
Yes,
too,
you
though,
do.
right?
Exactly. Put
Like-
cream cheese in the mac and cheese. Fuck wrong with you?
I
Go
wish
ahead.
to fuck you up.
Exactly.
But nah, I feel
I had
like
it happen.
now,
Go ahead.
now it's a sit. Dang,
I'm telling you. I was
hope
like,
you
what the
ain't
fuck
do
is
that.
this?
That's terrible. Man, I'm sorry.
Cut,
bro.
right.
Damn, that shit just messed my day up.
That's
Thinking about
awful, bro.
it. I'm gonna be in the car later on, like, bro, he said,
Bro.
cream cheese.
Bro, I'm telling you, bro. Cause she didn't tell me before, so I'm
Damn.
like, what is this?
Yeah, a lot of them do need a cookbook.
Man, had
Man,
bagel
I'm
macaroni
telling
and
you.
cheese.
That's right.
Oh my god,
Nah.
I can't even make noodles.
So-
Go ahead.
As men, though, right? Do you feel like the things that some women try to say? I mean, I heard you say cooking, right? Some of the things that women try to say are like big things. Are they not life things? Like me, right? I was raised by literally like 5 women, right? Both my great grandmothers, my grandmothers, and my mother. And I have a wonderful stepmother who, if I know how to cook, is purely because of her. No bullshit. And the reason why I know how to cook, the reason why I know how to clean, the reason why I know how to wash clothes, the reason why I know how to change tires and all that is because my community taught me that that's what you do in life as an adult. Like, that shit ain't, you don't get no kudos for that shit. Like, that's the shit you're supposed to do.
Right.
So if I'm in a relationship with somebody and I heard you say build, right? In life, it's a constant build. You constantly going up the stairs. And if you're not living. You just alive. Right? The shit I was doing last year, I'm not doing this year.
That's a fact.
Now, certain shit may carry over because, you know, some goals take longer. You know, life has, you know, its ups and downs, right? But as long as you taking steps to get there, you good. And in a relationship, you should still be taking those steps individually and together. So if we can't do that shit right there, all the banter and all the way motherfuckers say shit don't mean nothing. Are you growing individually so that when we turn this me to a we, that we can go together and we can turn that shit up? It's nothing to talk about.
That's the plan.
It's nothing to talk about. You worried about how a nigga saying something because it's hitting you in your heart.
Right.
Yeah.
It makes sense. You like, oh, well, I don't know how to do that. Oh, well, that happened to me and it wasn't my fault. Well, let's talk about fault. A lot of people in our generation, as you said, they don't want to take fault for their own shit. I had that issue. Then I had to be a man, stand on my 10 and be like, you know what? It was me.
Yeah.
It was me.
That's not easy. either.
Girl, my bad. Love you to death. You know, I hope you find a good nigga. I wasn't a great one for you. This is what I did. This is what I didn't do. And I hope the information I just told you help you go.
Looking yourself in the mirror is one of the hardest
It's
things
one of the
you can ever
hardest.
do.
Bruh.
Well, how about this? There's a difference between fault and responsibility. You know what I'm saying? Something don't have to be your fault
Mhm.
for it to be your responsibility to fix it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, for example, right? It may not be your fault, right, that maybe you got into a car accident, but it's still your responsibility to follow through, do the claim, do stuff like that, get yourself a new car, right? Might not be your fault that you were born in a certain place or a certain way, but it's your responsibility to do what's right, you know, because as they say, when we're born, we're born looking like our parents, but when we die, we're born looking like our decisions. And the reason why a lot of us, you know, end up not being what we need to be is because because we, you know, we so worried about the fault part, which a lot of times you may not have total control over it. But you do got total control over the responsibility to fix the situation. Yeah. And a lot of times, unfortunately, in our generation, more women than not saying all women, but a lot of times more women than not, like but all of us too, right? They don't live in the responsibility part. They stuck in the, well, this happened to me in this time, and this is why I am. That I am the way I am. No, we're supposed to be human beings, yes, but we all supposed to be human becomings. So we're supposed to be getting better. You know, you don't have to be like you just said. You don't have to be the same person as you was last year. You can get better, but I think it comes to taking accountability. Say, you know what? All right, this happened to me because of this. Where can I find fault in it? Yeah, it wasn't all my fault. Where can I find fault in it so I can fix it so it doesn't happen again? And the reason why a lot of people end up in the same situation every single year is because they don't find fault in anything, so they don't take responsibility. And because it's not their fault, I'm not responsible for fixing it. And that's a very dangerous, detrimental way to live.
That's a fact, and I'm glad you brought that up because most people got trauma. You know what I'm saying? Everybody go through trauma. You know what I'm saying? That trauma necessarily is not your fault, but what you cannot do is let that trauma dictate your whole life.
Facts.
You know what I'm saying? Like I went through trauma. You know what I'm saying? I've been abused and all that. You know what I'm saying? But that wasn't my fault. But what I cannot do is let that dictate how I live. You know what I'm saying? For the rest of my life. You know what I'm saying? Because I need to not have that dictate my decisions and how I live. You know what I'm saying? Because that was a messed up thing. You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, I got to work on myself so I won't have to go through that. Yeah. So I can break the chains of my family and our generation so none of my generation can go through that. Why keep having that dictate your life?
Yep.
And then now you keep going through that and go to generation after generation. That's why we having this problem now. Because our generation before didn't do that shit. So why we not doing that shit? Cut that shit off, work on yourself, and try to heal from it.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And move on. Because that's going to keep on dictating, and you're going to wonder why certain relationships or certain way you think is not right or is messing up how way you want to go because you still holding on to the past. You still holding that trauma. That shit was not your fault, but you have a responsibility to fix that and make sure you're good with that. So you can take your drama and share it with other people and have them go, when they going through what you going through, have them, you know what I'm saying, live life better because they see that another person that went through your trauma, went through around the same trauma, they not letting that dictate you. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people do that, and they need to stop doing it. I'm glad you brought that shit up.
That's why just outside the relationship aspect, because Kevin was not a relationship guru.
Nah, he wasn't.
He was a black man.
Realist.
That was a realist. That was successful in sales. That became an image consultant. That wanted the best possible outcomes for men and women.
That's a fact.
But particularly color. Right, exactly. But particularly men, because he's a man, he want those outcomes for us.
Right.
So
black man,
right. So he would always point out that what is the outcome that you want in your life. He will always ask men and women that first, like what is the outcome? Because when they would come on his show confused, okay, I want this, that, and the third. Okay. One, what do you want out of your life? And two, how are you going to obtain that? How are you going to put yourself in a position to obtain that? And that's where he would begin to kind of like ask certain questions and dissect. Okay,
they like,
exactly.
Because you ain't think about that.
Right, exactly. And as men, we're cost benefit calculators. You know what I'm saying? Like the older we get, obviously the wiser we get too. So we think that okay, what is the benefit in me dealing with you and your two kids? Right. Versus someone who don't have any kids.
Your peace of mind could be different. Somebody with kids might be a little more level-headed than somebody without kids. People with kids aren't as pushy as people without kids. Like, it really depends. You right. Like, you are absolutely right. Pros and cons.
Sometimes it's the very opposite.
And that's
right.
It depends on the person.
Right, it depends on the person, yeah.
You can't sneeze in the 30-mile radius of your kid. I'm like, damn, son. I'm like,
but see, that's where it comes in for us that we think more on a logical basis. You know what I'm saying? Like we think, we have the ability to see that far ahead. And God just gifted us like that, you know, because we're providers, and women are nurturers. You know what I'm saying? So whereas she might say, yeah, this is mine. Don't worry if you let me in, I'm coming. I'm gonna take care of this. We're looking at but that's also 30, 40, 50,000 a year at a minimum also in our head because, as you said, cost base calculators, we're thinking from a financial standpoint, even logical standpoint. Emotion is second for us.
Oh God.
You know what I'm saying? Like I'll be willing. I don't necessarily think out of my emotion side of my brain. You know, most times it's financial, and then it's logical. You know what I'm saying? But it could be it intertwines. So you know, and all he does is really help us realize that. And one thing they don't ever talk about is how he always suggests therapy. Have you gone to therapy? Who's your therapist? Because he wants us to heal.
He was coming from a good place.
So if you don't have a therapist, all right, well let me help real quick. You know what I'm saying? Let me give you a dose of the medicine to start the process and make you realize you do need some therapy. You do need some healing, like you said. You do need some healing. You know, so I mean, I really hope that this conversation continues to be had. You know, because it does need to be had. You know, and I don't know who's going to continue the conversation, because you got to have someone who's fearless like he was, somebody who you know, is bold as he is and has true intentions, not trying to capitalize on that clout. Let me change, let me maximize, because he really didn't maximize on clout. And I'll say this too, because all of us are, you know, in the entrepreneur space, looking to build content, things like that. It blows my mind how many people who are aspiring entrepreneurs, content creators, you know, people who want to be influencers, talking bad on this man, whether you agree with him or not. Every single one of us wants what he had, the type of growth and notoriety he had. Dude, 1 million plus subscribers on multiple platforms, 10 to 15,000 people watching the live nightly, 10 to 15,000 at a minimum. Who don't want that type of reach, bro? Like, so I whether I liked it or not, you will not hear me, because guess what? As someone who is an entrepreneurial business person, 10 years, and learning this social media content creation space, bro, give me that. You know what I'm saying? And he didn't do it like in a malicious way. It was all natural. He didn't pay for followers, nothing like that. So when I see people bashing him and you're in that same space as him, I'm like, you're blocking your blessings. You don't even get it. Like, you want exactly what he has. So it might be from a place of jealousy. You just mad that he exploded. You know what I'm saying? And you're still struggling to get the followers up. You know what I'm saying? So I just wanted to put that out there. So
I mean, also, let's not forget we still got Future. Pluto is still looking out for the fellas. It is okay. Pluto. He just dropped some fire last week.
Oh, he did.
He's doing good. Don't look at me like that. You know it was fire.
It's fire.
It's fire. I feel like as long as Pluto's here, he got our back. I mean, think about it. You can say what you want about Future, but he's another one. He don't never lie.
That's a fact.
Start to finish. All this, he's a bad person. They knew that before they got. He only know who he is. Only thing that changed about him was he hit his goals. From the time he came out to now, he always was like,
"Tell Steve Harvey, I
don't want it."
Come on, bro.
Facts.
Come on, bro. That's another thing. Like, if this man tell you exactly who he is,
if you ain't gonna be shit, you know what I'm saying? Be true to you ain't being shit. That's what I'm saying. You know what I'm saying? You know you ain't shit. Just be true in it. You know what I'm saying? He's true in it, so he get my respect for me.
Exactly. How can you not respect them? I respect them. Like, hey,
he is who he is. He ain't switching.
From start to finish, that nigga's been the most consistent nigga ever. He ain't backtracked on that. He be like, he Mr. Said what I said.
Said what I said. Sensational.
You don't want to do what? Enjoy some.
Yep.
What? I said what I said. Come on, bro. Future got us, man. Why you think Future and Kevin in the video together?
Facts.
They knew, like, we saying the same thing, just in different ways. You living it, I'm preaching it.
Right.
It's the same, bro.
You know who else is one of the most consistent niggas either? Russell Wilson.
Exactly. No, call it what it is.
But on the other
side of the spectrum,
everybody call him corny and all that. My man's a good dude. Yep. He take care of his family. You know what I'm saying? He a millionaire.
His wife happy, his family happy. And he raising future child. How about that?
He made that decision. Like, all right, cool. She come with the kid, but it's all right.
He's the only mainstream nigga left speaking for the men.
Corey Holcomb.
That's an awful ass nigga.
That's 5150.
No, I think he different from Kevin Samuels. That's an awful. He's hilarious, but that's an awful ass nigga.
Yo, and Corey Holcomb
he be saying the truth, but that's an awful ass nigga. He's an
raw.
awful ass nigga.
That's a raw nigga right
That's
there.
an awful ass nigga. You know what I'm saying? Talking about girl get pregnant, I'm gonna take her to Six Flags. That's an awful ass nigga, man. That's awful. That's awful. Julius, you know he awful. He awful.
Julius was good, bro.
Yeah, bro. He awful.
Yeah, that's funny.
That's hilarious, dog. Yeah.
Go ahead, Vic.
We kind of went on a tangent, but RP to the Godfather, Kevin Samuels. We didn't even get a chance to do your introductions, man. So go ahead and introduce yourselves, and for the people who don't know who you are, let's go and start with that.
All right.
Start from this side.
Okay.
Go this way. Okay. I'm Gio Parker. On Instagram, Real Estate with Gio. I'm a real estate agent, entrepreneur. I would love to say real estate investor, but I feel like that term is just so washed out now because everybody's a real estate investor. They bought a
real estate pants
and all that. On God,
every real estate agent got the pants.
and if you can't see the pants, this is your barrier entry. When you put these on,
I'm telling
Man,
you, you're a real estate.
$3 million in real estate just by putting the pants on.
on God in heaven. But no, so basically, and outside of being I don't really like to call myself a real estate agent. Really, to me, what I do, I match homes with lifestyles.
That's good.
So basically, I help people, get real back in after looking at $2.5 million homes on Zillow, and they got $3 in their bank account, really back in and like, all right, look, you want that, but this is how we gonna have to get to it.
Kevin Samuels in real estate.
Man, I'm glad.
Damn, I hope not.
He's a hope not.
We need more people like that, man.
But nah, for real though. Like, so yeah, that's me. I'm a real estate agent, real estate professional, and I like to help my community through real estate.
So for everybody who don't know this, me and G are cousins.
Yeah,
I didn't know that.
I didn't find it out until you
But
said that.
yeah, because when he first, because we were supposed to do this episode with him.
What?
That's my fault. I'm sorry. That was my fault. But when he said, he was like, yeah, my cousin on the show. I'm like, all right, that's cool. Then he did the post. I was like, nigga, Gio? I'm like, why you ain't say nothing? I'm like, what the fuck? I'm like,
I never knew. I would never
yeah,
guess.
you know what I'm saying? I'm like, okay.
That's dope.
That's what's up. Real recognize real. That's what's up. You know
We
what
don't-
I'm saying? Before he do his introduction, let me get that watch. God damn! I was looking at it since I sat down. I said, damn. I was like, look at you. What way do you think of?
Yeah. What's up, people? So, Daryl Julian. Funny, we all Duval alumni, right?
Yes,
Duval strong.
Yeah.
But yeah, so Daryl Julian, I'm a financial consultant, insurance broker, investment broker. So I've been in the game 10 years, entrepreneur, teaching people about finance, teaching people about investing. Done millions of dollars of investments for my clients. Just helping people start accounts, start investing into the market from as little as $25 to $2 million, $5 million, whatever you got. I can teach it to you. On IG, I'm King D Julian. On Twitter, it's at Daryl Julian for financial concepts, at King Julian for everything else on Twitter. The free mind. But like I said, I've been in the space 10 years and just enjoy teaching people about it, man. Because our generation, our culture, our people, we're just totally illiterate. When it comes down to finance and money. And a lot of times, I gotta help the people before they even get to you because they come in with no money saved, stuff like that. So I help people establish accounts and they can then say, look, hey, I got 5 or 10 or 15,000 saved. My agent showed me how to invest. Here's a down payment. And you can do your thing. And then even on the back end, I help a lot of people get the insurance to protect the house in case they die before it's paid off. Or get the homeowners insurance, stuff like that.
So one thing people need.
I'm trying to tell you, man, when I was buying my house, that's what they asked me, how much life insurance you got? At that time, I only had $250,000. I'm thinking that's a lot. And it was like, well, you might want to have, a little more because that's just going to cover the house. What are you going to do to, and that's what made me realize, all right, cool, I raised my life insurance to $1 million. So that way, if I die, house is paid off, car is paid off.
The family's taken care of.
That's it, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. So that's what I do, help people realize that type of stuff. So that's it. So it was like, exactly. Yeah.
So and
that's why it's so great that we got both y'all on the show.
Yeah.
So y'all go hand in hand. You know what I'm saying? And like to piggyback on you, you know, I seen you in your element. You know what I'm saying? I seen you in your element. And I remember we had John on the show a couple episodes ago, and he was talking about how it's so great how he doing this podcast thing and the growth that he showed because nobody seen this coming. I definitely didn't see that coming for you. You know what I'm saying? Like, not saying you didn't have the potential to do it because of course you did, but I didn't see it. You know what I'm saying? Because in Duval, you know what I'm saying? We was cool in Duval, but you was kind of a little dick in Duval.
Hey, I'll dig them down.
You know what I'm saying? So when I see you in your element and you know you're helping and you was trying to help me out, I was like, man, I said, man, growth.
Appreciate that.
You hear me? I was like, that's crazy. You know what I'm saying? You a real success story coming out. You too. You know what I'm saying? Y'all success stories coming out of Duval, and I don't think y'all get enough flowers. So I'm glad y'all on this show. So we can give y'all that flowers because that's big, man. That's big. What he doing? When I was in that and I was seeing some of the stuff, I was like, when I'm in the right time, my spot, I'm going back because he was helping out a lot of people. Because that Prime America, how they set you up for success, other than the other companies that I seen how they work, man, I'm telling you, it's night and day. It's night and day. And the fact that man is successful in doing that, I'm so proud of you. You know what I'm saying, bro?
Appreciate
like,
that, bro.
It's crazy. You and your wife, you know what I'm saying? And you got a family. I'm gonna come aboard. You know what I'm saying? As soon as I'm in the right space, I'm telling you.
Get that job for you.
I'm telling you, I'm coming back.
Yeah, part of the two things in our community that black community, I should say, that we fail at is finances, and one of the most important things that we need to know that isn't taught to us is the home buying process.
Absolutely.
Because we get so comfortable in our own element, staying in an apartment. Like now the way the market is, an apartment is more expensive than a house.
Man, I hate apartments, bro.
They
raise the damn rent every other week. Now maintenance man don't want to fix nothing. Don't get me started, bro. I'm gonna lose my damn mind in this.
Nothing like ownership, bro.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
For real. It's a certain feeling you get knowing when you walk in that door, it's your door.
Exactly.
Like you ain't got no time frame, you don't all that smoking. You can do whatever you want in your house.
That's a fact.
And that's the best.
Ain't bothering nobody.
So what are some of the misconceptions that people come across your desk with as far as like the process or because like you said, people who want this $2 million home but can't afford it, what are some of the things that you do with your clients to help them bring them back down to earth and help them be what they need to be?
Honestly, explaining the market to them and explaining to them different methods of getting to their goal, right? I mean, of course, the money part is important,
Absolutely.
right?
That's
very important. Now, do I necessarily help people with that? Sometimes, yeah, but I do also refer them out to other people, especially for credit, right? A lot of people think, oh, I got to have an 800 credit score. Not really. You just can't have a 580.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
You really can have a decent score. You can have a 640 and still get pre-approved and approved for a mortgage that is at a decent interest rate and for a decent amount of money, especially for the area that we're in, right? Another thing that I do is I explain that you don't want to use all your money. If anything, you don't want to use any of it if you don't have to. The next thing would be the misconception of how much houses cost, right? A lot of people like to say, oh, this house is too much. Why do you think it's too much? Well, when my father bought his house 30 years ago around the corner, it was let's stop right there.
30 years ago.
It was 30 years ago. If your dad's house did not appreciate from then till now, we fucked.
Exactly.
The world is about to end.
Absolutely.
So, I explain to them what that is. The number one thing I'm explaining right now is what inflation is.
Mm-hmm.
That's a very big thing that's affecting the market right now.
Absolutely.
Explaining to them what an interest rate is. Most people saying the interest rate this, the interest rate that. And also explaining to them how a cycle works, like a billing cycle.
Mm-hmm.
Most people think, oh, the house costs too much. Really, the cost that you should be worrying about as a consumer that's not buying in cash is the monthly cost. Would you agree on that?
Absolutely.
The
That affects what you're able to disperse disposable income.
Exactly.
Be able to afford other things.
Exactly. Most people live on a monthly basis. Now, if you are the person that's coming to buy the house cash, cool. There are other factors that we need to take a look into, right? But for the average consumer, we not buying a house cash. We got a 15 to 30 year fixed mortgage.
Mm-hmm.
That means in between 15 and 30 years, the house gonna go up, it's gonna go down, it's gonna go up, it's gonna go down. You'll know it's not gonna go up and down. Your payment per month.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
That's what matters.
That's a fact.
And like I just gave the analogy about the 30 years. The biggest thing that people, especially right now, because we all know in this area the housing market right now is going crazy. Like being a boom.
Oh, I know.
Absolutely.
Going crazy, right? People like, well, this house was just 100,000 less than. Can you afford the monthly mortgage?
Yeah.
Do you plan to own this house for more than 3 years? I hope the answer is yes, because if it's not, maybe you shouldn't be buying a house at this price point. Maybe you should buy one at this price point.
Right.
So right now, the biggest misconceptions: housing cost, right? How much the actual house itself costs. When in retrospect and in
Open your ears, y'all.
in anything really, it's not the biggest thing for an average consumer.
Yeah.
Right? Another misconception: you didn't have this crazy great credit score. I know people that's been through bankruptcy that involved multiple houses.
Yep.
I know people that went from $0 in the bank to $10,000 in the bank and used the whole $10,000 to buy the house. Living good, fine, everything great. Right? Another misconception: I got to use all my money. You don't. I actually would hope that you would have to use none. And if I can help you use none, we gonna do it. So those are the three biggest misconceptions.
Good stuff. Good stuff.
That's see, this is why I wanted to bring them on the show, because people don't know this stuff.
Exactly. I'm telling you.
People think, my credit score got to be perfect. Or I got to have all this money in the bank to close on a home.
Yeah, some of the stuff I didn't even know, cuz I was like, oh, okay. I mean, I'm a big apartment baby, you know what I'm saying, my whole life.
Yeah. And you know what's funny? People who live in apartments their whole life, or like who were raised in apartments, they don't realize that same money that you put down for a security deposit the first and last month, you can use that as a down payment.
Really, for real,
Like literally, especially now with the price of rent, like some of that shit is like the exact same.
Bro,
that you
bro,
can
1,800.
Bro. So there are people paying more in a rent than I pay my monthly mortgage, bro.
I know.
There are literally people, and I'm like, that's crazy, bro. Like, that lets me know that if I rent my house out, I'm hand over fist, you know what I'm saying? I'm like, I mean, you feel me?
Hey, bro, I'm telling you, man.
I'm just like, yo.
There's no rent control in Maryland, bro.
Nah, bro.
I saw something.
How y'all raising the price on the same product?
I saw something on Instagram a few weeks ago. It said the average rent in DC is $2,400. Average.
Damn.
That's crazy. That's more than my mortgage. I bought my house for about $250,000.
See?
It's about 6 years ago.
See?
You know what I'm saying? So it's like, I'm looking like, yo, that's crazy. And we're not even talking about like luxury, penthouse.
No.
Nigga, I'm talking about Woodland across the street from July.
Yeah, bro.
That's where I stay at.
Yeah.
That shit wild as hell.
Yeah, bro. No, it's
so
crazy.
bad, bro. I'm telling you, every time I get the little crease paper, I'm like,
yeah, bro.
and then y'all be mad about fixing them. Give us a new refrigerator.
Yeah,
what the
bro.
fuck? Can we get some new carpet? We've been living here for 10 years. Y'all keep on raising this goddamn. I'm sorry, bro.
Man, set your ass down.
That's why home ownership is important,
Damn,
man.
bro.
That's why home ownership is important, dog.
Man, can we get a new carpet? Can we get a new carpet? God damn, y'all.
Help me! Help me!
Thank you.
He said, help
Nigga.
me.
God
Please.
damn. Oh, my God. Shit. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, get it all out, bro.
Hey, bro, I almost tore my ACL one day because I opened the door, the goddamn screen door came off. I tripped over, bust my ass, almost tore my ACL. I told them, they was like, well, it's bent. It looked like you fell on it. Yes, nigga, I fell on it because the shit fell off. What the fuck are you talking about? Well, y'all gotta pay for it. What you mean I gotta pay for it? What are you talking about? If I would have tore my ACL, then what?
What?
My bad, go ahead. Wait. Let's bring it back.
Give me your hat, bro.
Hey, give me my hat, bro. Cause I'm mad, bro. Man, I'm mad.
Give me
bro.
tight, yo.
Oh my
Give me
God,
tight.
bro.
I'm tight.
Hey, my phone about to die. Can I see your charger real quick?
Yes, I fell on it.
Yes, I fell on the motherfucker, bro. God damn, man. But what is like the same thing he asked him for you? What is more like the misconceptions in your line of road?
So it's like two things because it's like insurance and investment. So I'll kind of break them both down. So on the insurance side, the biggest misconception is that a lot of times people think insurance is too much. They think it costs a lot. In reality, it really doesn't, bro. Like you can cover your family, get hundreds of thousands of dollars of life insurance for less than a cup of coffee a day.
That's a fact.
You know what I'm saying?
Like,
real talk. I see people buying 2 and 3 packs of cigarettes a day, but I'm like you can get life insurance for less than what 1 pack of cigarette costs a day to cover your family, and decent enough. Not like you're gonna make them a millionaire, but more than burial. Like there's a significant amount of coverage, right?
Way more than burial.
So that's one thing. The other thing is understanding the use of life insurance. You know what I mean? Like there's a whole phenomenon now going out there where people talking about, you know, you be on bank stuff, and that's a whole another conversation I can get into. But like the reality is the banks don't even use their own money, right? And they're making money off other people's money. So when you be on bank, right, that means you're supposed to make money. You're supposed to make the interest, but with that theory, the insurance company is making money off of the money. So that's one thing. I try to break that down to people. Then the third thing is on the insurance aspect is people don't know how to determine how much coverage they need, right? Most people go with a number that sounds good with them, like, oh yeah, 100,000 would be enough. But how would that be enough? Like the reality is like your greatest asset. Houses is nice. Commodities are great, stocks are great, but your greatest asset is your income. Because if you don't have income, how are you going to purchase those things that you consider an asset? One of the things that y'all look at when you buying a house, I don't care how much money you got saved. What y'all look at? What's your income? Because I need to know, can you make this payment before you get approved? Like we're not even gonna go to the title company, mortgage company. If you can't afford anything, I'm gonna show you, and you're not even about to get in the car, waste your gas, and do any showings, right? If the income ain't right. So your greatest asset is your income.
That monthly number.
You got to be able to. Okay, so what I do is I teach people a ideal amount of life insurance is 10 times whatever you make annually. So if you make $30,000 a year, you should have $300,000. Why? Because you got to provide a lifestyle for your family after you're gone,
right?
Especially if you have dependents,
right?
So that's on the life insurance side. On the investment side, a lot of people are scared. Well, I got to get in the market at the right time. There's no such thing as timing the market. The only real theory is time in. Time, space, in. Not timing, time in the market. The longer you're in, long-term strategies are always, like, I see some people who day trade, and not you know, nothing wrong with it.
Right.
But even in that, because of the fees and the brokerage fees that cost to buy certain stocks, sometimes you end up losing more trading daily than you would long-term, just letting that money compound, right? So a lot of times people don't understand about long-term strategy, right? The other thing is people don't understand this theory of dollar cost averaging. They say, oh, well, the market is down, it's a bad time. No. Vic, what's your favorite restaurant? Favorite store, rather. Like clothing store, retail store, whatever.
I'm heavy on the black on the black everything right now.
Okay.
So, I mean, I would say museum right now. Yeah.
Dope. Yeah, I see you decked out in the museum. I was going to ask you about it.
I wear them all the time.
That's dope. Okay. So if museums hit you up and say, look, Vic, 60% off is your birthday month.
Shit.
What you doing? 60% off everything on our site.
I'm there on site.
Exactly. You run it up, right? Because it's 60% off everything, right?
Right.
Let Former Mills say that to me.
Okay, and whatever it is, Former Mills, Target, whatever, right? Any place
yeah.
that says, look, 60% off, we run to it and we buy, right?
Right.
But the moment the market says 60% off, we're like, oh, the market is bad. I'm not touching it. It's bad. No, bro, the market is telling you, look, everything's on sale right now. Your favorite stocks, your favorite companies, your favorite ETFs, your favorite mutual funds, all at a discount. Go buy it. Because if you look at it, there's never been any time period longer than 16, 18 months at a time where the market has just been down. If you look at any 10-year period, the market has always been up more times than not. Typically, 70% or greater is positive. So if it's down, what does history teach us? That it's probably going to go back up. You know what I'm saying? And as a matter of fact, we all ball. You take a basketball, the harder you bounce that basketball, what does it do? The harder it shoots up, right? So the market drop, that means it's probably going to have a nice rebound, and you want to be able to ride that roller coaster up. Do we know when? No, we don't. That's why time in the market is good. And so those are the two biggest misconceptions on the investments, and those are the three on the life insurance side.
Wow.
And knowledge is key, bro.
That was informative. That was very
That's the
informative.
goal. Teach people.
Another question I want to ask: what's the how can I put it? What's like the pros that y'all like find from doing what y'all do, and the cons?
Pros. Do you mean like personally or like business wise? Like
personally and business wise.
On a personal level, I like being able to control my schedule.
Absolutely.
Being able to control my schedule allows me to do a lot, right? So like one of the things that I'm big in is like, you know, giving back to the community and stuff like that. You know, I'm also a part of a fraternity. So, you know.
What turn are you on?
Alpha Phi Alpha.
Oh, makes sense.
Yeah. So
You dressed the part.
I try.
So
So
if I would have finished, I would have definitely been in fraternity.
it's never too late, bro. It's never too late. But yeah, being able to, you know, help my community in more ways than one, right? Having the free time to do it. A lot of people, you know, it's not a luxury that they have, and I consider it a blessing to be able to do that. Another pro would be being able to teach people, right? And teach them about something that can actually help them. A lot of the time, I mean, let's be honest, in school, I ain't gonna be there. Like, a lot of the time, you probably saw me in the hallway. I ain't gonna lie to you. Don't judge me. Don't judge me. You feel me? I made it out.
You know what I'm saying? It's not how you start, it's how you finish. You feel me?
Exactly. But being able to teach something to people that can help them, a lot of the stuff we learned in school, like, how many of us had a real financial literacy class in high school? And shit, some people even in college.
Once I had one joint and she barely taught us anything.
You see what I'm saying? Like, out of the stuff that you learned
Non-existent.
in high school, what really translate over into your full-grown adult life? Same thing I came up with. Not much. Right?
Besides surviving.
Besides
I thought
surviving.
Christopher Columbus was a hero.
Oh, God in heaven. Stealing like a mug, right?
I'm telling you.
But, you know, being able to see something to people that can help them in the long run, help them in life, right? Like, knowing how to properly navigate real estate and investing as a whole, any type of investment, that can change your life. You don't got to be a brainiac. You don't even have to graduate from school. All you got to do is work a job long enough to save you some money, get you a decent enough credit score. You could buy you a house that could change your life and the lives of your family members to come. Like, real estate is one of the #1 wealth building tools in America. It's a pleasure to be able to say I do this.
Mm-hmm.
It's a pleasure to say that I know it. I'm not official. I'm not proficient. I'm the best at it.
Mm-hmm.
Like, that is
Talk your shit.
You feel me? Like, that's a pro. Like, being able to say I'm 28 and did what I did, like, and doing what I'm doing.
That's what we do. That's what we do in our family.
Like, come on, bro. Like, bro, like, you don't understand. Like, from, like you said, apartment baby, like, my grandmother, my mother, my aunt, everybody, apartments. Only people that had a house was my great-grandmother, which was my father's mother.
Mm-hmm.
Well, my father's mother's mother. Bro, being able to take that and translate it to having 4, 5 houses now, and now trying to translate it into other states, bro, that's a pro to me.
Right.
Changing the family, that's a pro. A con would be, man, when I quit my job, I thought that I was going to be able to, you know, not have to be up 7 a.m. I could kind of wake up when I want to.
Sir.
Boy, I don't have no sleep.
Yes, sir.
I don't have no sleep. I'm on vacation. Like, so you said, Josh, I was literally on a ride at Universal with my little sister on Tuesday, right? I'm on a ride. I'm like, yeah, let's get on a ride. Right before I get on, I get a text like, I don't think we're going to close. I'm like, oh, I can't go. You got to go. Go ahead. Enjoy yourself. I'm over here. Like, for real.
Child makes you secure that bag.
Yeah. But even the con is a pro.
Right, exactly.
I wouldn't trade it in for nothing.
Facts.
That's a fact.
Facts.
I wouldn't trade it in for nothing.
How about you?
Yeah, so same sentiments, bro. Number one, entrepreneurship, bro. It's been 10 years that I haven't worked for anybody, bro. Actually, going into 2011 was the last time I had a regular job, right? Working at Sears and Bowie, right? And I just could not do it. You know what I mean? So I figured, I said, look, if I'm gonna go to work, if I'm making anybody rich, I'm gonna make myself rich. So you're making Sears Robot, you know what I'm saying? The guy that started a business, he done did it a long time ago, made his family rich, and I'm saying making him rich by pushing his business, right? So yeah, I went ahead and pursued that. So having that luxury of knowing that I don't have to answer to a boss, right? When you hit me up, it's like, yo, Saturday, I ain't have to worry about answering to nobody, taking the day off. You're right. I run training. I just put some people in place to run that, and I don't have to do it. See, and that's when you have a business, you have a system. And what system stands for is saving yourself stress, time, energy, and money.
Whoa.
You know what I'm saying? And so when you have a system in place, you have freedom.
T-shirts. Say that again.
Yeah, you save yourself stress, time, energy, and money. And so that's what having a system is. And so you know, put systems in place that can run without me having to be there. So that gives me the luxury to be able to do what I want when I want to. You know what I'm saying? And then that way I can work on my business instead of having to always work in my business. You see what I'm saying? Like what you got going on. You got your business running, and you could choose. You know what I'm saying? On what kinds you want to do and all different stuff. That's that luxury, that freedom. The other part is educating people, bro. Like just like seeing someone come to me and then they have no idea, total canvas. And then them walking away feeling confident. They just learn something about investing. They learn about, you know, the rule of 72. They learn about, you know, the theory of decreasing responsibility. They learn about dollar cost average and all different stuff. They're like, yo, I feel good. I had family members that kind of held back on, you know, coming to me for, you know, giving me business at first. You know what I'm saying? Now, before they do anything with money, they hit me up. It's pretty much the same thing. But like, yo, G, what you think about this property? You think about, you know, and that's how it goes. So knowing that you have that confidence to be able to affect and effect people in a positive way, you know, is pretty good. And then knowing that my income isn't linear. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like it isn't linear. Like most people, they know exactly what they're going to get paid. So they tell you, well, wait till next week Friday, I have X amount of dollars. So I don't live in a budget lifestyle. I live in a money management lifestyle. That way, if I make 15 grand this month or I make 25 grand next month, right now I know how to manage the money instead of having a budget. Because if I budget, that means, okay, I know I'm only going to make 5 grand this month. It's going to be budget. I can't add nothing to that budget. I'm going to break the budget. Knowing that I can have exponential, explosive income any given month. You know what I'm saying? That right there is a total pro, and it baffles me how many people don't even want to explore that idea of like just giving yourself a shot. Like you already the same skill set it took you to get that job, bro. You can take that same skill set and make it work for yourself and get paid.
Yeah. No, that's a fact.
So like that, I'm trying to tell you, bro. Like, and there's so much stuff I learned about I thought there was things I had to learn about the industry. There was much more stuff I had to learn about myself. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like for real. And I learned that, bro, if you're gonna step into these entrepreneur streets, dog,
Right.
if you don't self-develop, you're gonna self-destruct.
Over.
I'm telling
You feel me?
over.
Like you have to constantly work. Like your greatest muscle is here, bro.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like so you got to constantly work on it. So for me, it's seeing the evolution of Daryl. It's seeing the evolution of myself grow. You know, knowing that, hey, nobody in my family bought out. My family come from a different country. So the fact that I'm able to be a first generation American, nobody in my family bought a house before 30. I bought my house at 26. A lot of my friends were still living at home and stuff like that, right? Mm-hmm. I ain't working for nobody. A lot of them got degrees. I don't have no degree money. I'm not begging Uncle Joe to cut. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't care. To me, whether he forgive or not don't matter to me. Because I just start off life in debt. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like I'm not starting behind the 8 ball. I started off, you know. Now I didn't have the knowledge like some other people, but I got a chance to be able to start the race. Yeah. And then the con, I guess you can say, would be don't like he said, like, you know, just not thinking that you're gonna be totally free off the bat. Nah, you have to grow, you have to self-develop, you have to master yourself. You gotta work on, you know, your appearance and your look and your people skills and your patience. My God, your patience. And I guess the only other aspect to that would be, I guess maybe seeing how uneducated financially our people are. Like it's not really a con, it's more of a disappointment. It's like, yo, our people really don't know. And with social media, we got so many people that's out there just just because they have a platform just giving out bad information, it hurts. So the con is having to clean up a lot of that bad information that's out there. So that would be the pro and the con for me.
Yeah, I know them paid vacations.
Oh, bro, absolutely, man. Listen, 13 so far in the last 10 years. Them paid, yeah, that part too, travel, man. I've been to more places in the 10 years I've been in business than my parents been their whole life. My father's 73, and I don't know my mom. What she happy about? 65. She celebrated 65. My parents, 60s and 70s. I've been in more places in the last 10 years than they've been their whole life, and they come from another country.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So yeah, all those perks are a benefit for me, bro. So that's pros and cons for me.
And you said something that was, you had a list of things that you said as far as what you have to do from an individual standpoint to make you the best version of yourself. And those things equates to you having a successful business, right? Clean up your image, you work well with people, you trust people, surround yourself around a team. Because we see people all the time, they have all these different businesses, they say, oh, I got this, I got that. But are you able to work well with people? Do you trust people to help run what's yours?
When he said that, know yourself, I was like,
right, exactly.
Yeah, because when I was in it, I was like, I want to do this so bad, but right now where I'm at in the space I'm in, it's not conducive.
Well, the Bible says to thy own self be true. And if you're not true to yourself, bro, you know what I'm saying? Like that is a recipe for disaster.
That's a fact.
You know what I mean? And I do believe timing is everything for a lot of people. You know, you can want to do something or even want to engage in something, but if you are not mentally ready for it, bro, it could end up having more of a detrimental effect than a positive effect.
That's a fact. I had to realize that because I wanted that shit so bad. Because going in there and doing the little things that I did, it was so gratifying. I was like, bruh, if I had the opportunity at that time, if I was in the right space, I was like, I wish I would have just kept going with it. You know what I'm saying? But I had to know that that's not the right time for me. It's going to be a time where I can go back into it and I can put it in. It just wasn't the right time for me. But, you know what I'm saying? I enjoyed what I learned from my brief, stint in it. It was wonderful. And I met Evander Holyfield too, so that was wonderful too. Yeah, that was cool as hell. That was cool as hell.
You know what I think another thing would be just from the entrepreneurial standpoint? Staying in it.
Absolutely.
Staying in it. Because knowing
trusting
yourself
the process.
and having that mindset, like, bro, early on, I wanted to quit. Like, I'm talking about, I seen family members buy houses from other people.
Come on, son.
You've seen family members, I'm sure, invest or get insurance with other people. And you like, bro, I just sat here and told you that I do this. You was having a conversation with me about it. And
matter of fact, you made your decision based on the education I gave you.
Bro.
You know what I'm saying? Like, that's the hardest part. It's like, you wouldn't even make a decision if I didn't educate you on that.
That was the hardest part for me. I was like, dog, I don't got to do, like, at the time, I was working. I liked the job I had. I made great money for what I was doing. Like, it was all right. But I knew, like you said, I couldn't do that shit. I just couldn't. I just knew. Like, every time somebody would say something, I was like, dog, I know that's not right. Or, dog, I know I can do it better. And you don't have that freedom like that. Bro, knowing yourself, knowing what to do with the power that you gain. Because you gain a lot of power when you take the power out of a boss's hand. Right. When you become your own boss, it's like a feeling you get. Like, your time is yours now. Like, you don't have no clock to punch unless you set it for yourself.
Facts.
Like, I almost dropped the ball because I thought, like, I do what no, bro. Nah. You gotta have systems in place, like you said.
Absolutely.
You gotta get you a routine.
Yeah.
Because a part of the system is the routine. That routine helps so much.
Consistency.
Bruh. That consistency, like, it literally makes the difference between having that $10,000 a month or that $20,000 a month, or meeting that client because you up at 7 a.m. at Starbucks, and not meeting that client.
And them going somewhere else to do their business.
Yep.
Or them being lost and you never meet them.
Right.
Or when you meet them, it's too late.
Yep.
Right.
Bro, all that shit goes together.
Trying to tell you, bro.
Do not quit. Just keep refining the system.
Yep.
Even when you think the system working perfect, let it work. Do its thing. But even when it's working, find them kinks. Like, I'm still working out so many kinks now.
Absolutely.
Like, I had a client who was like, she like a sister to me. And I literally was like, look, I need you to write down everything that other people won't write down. I need you to tell me everything that I can improve on. She did that for me early on. And to this day, I still take that list and make sure I'm hitting all those points for all my clients. And I even go to other clients that I've had since her and go back and be like, all right, cool. Well, we perfected this, we got to work on this, we got to work on that. All right, cool. So let's get into a routine now with clients. Okay, let's put them into the system now. All that shit make a difference, and it help you stay on track, stay on task. It help you resist the urge of quitting because you got it streamlined.
Yeah.
And that's when you bring in them other people.
Absolutely.
You can't have nobody work for you or try to do something for you, and you don't know what you're doing.
Facts.
You got to give them a routine. You got to give them a system, and that's just all a part of being in business and being a business-minded person.
That's a fact. That's a fact. I'm glad you said something about that because I'm going through going through some of the same struggles myself. Cause I'm trying to get my comedy going, get my comedy show. Like, I've been working on this pilot to my skit show that I'm gonna put out on YouTube for like 2 years. The process and then trying to dictate, other things in life and shit. You're like, man, but at the same time, it's like when you trying to do something, you put content out there and then it don't do what you think it's going to do. It's like, damn,
Yeah, I know, right?
What am I doing this for? You know what I'm saying? Like, damn, you know what I'm saying? But I was like, nah, you know what I'm saying? What's the other plan? You know what I'm saying? Still just staying where I'm at? Hell, fuck
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? So like to try to, be consistent and to come up with a plan, you know what I'm saying? And to be consistent to the plan. That's a lot of work. You know what I'm saying? That's a lot of work. But if you want this life, you got to be committed to it.
Absolutely.
You got to be committed to it. So I understand exactly what you're saying because I'm going through a little bit on the beginning stages of it because I ain't totally, through yet. But yeah,
Right.
it's the beginning stage trying to figure out what I want to do, how I want to do it, and to continue to put the effort into it. I can understand where you're coming from because it's hard. It's hard, especially when you don't know everything off bucks. That's why I look at a lot of comedians or I look at a lot of just content creators, period, so they can see how they do it, then how I can do it in my original self. You know what I'm saying? Not taking nobody comedy, but seeing how they do things and then put it into how I want to do things. And you know what I'm saying? That's what I started to do. So yeah, I can feel you from that point of view. You know what I'm saying?
Well, what I would say that helped me, stay the course and not throw in the towel. See, the human mind is unique, right? So like as humans, we underestimate the power or the value behind reward and punishment, right? Like we give off chemicals in our body when we're excited about something. You know what I'm saying? When we're expecting to get something, about to get some cheeks, some money about to come in, different stuff, right? True or false, right?
For a piece of
Exactly. Hey. Food, whatever. You feel me? Hey, that's just what it is. But you know what that chemical is called? That chemical is called dopamine, right? And endorphins. Okay. So that gives you the energy. That's like natural energy. That's like natural B12, right? So how do you stay on it? Well, all of us got this big, grander, goal that we want to hit. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like my goal, and I'm pretty sure you got like a goal you wanted maybe $1 million, $2 million, $3 million in real estate this year, whatever. I'm not sure. I'm not maybe 5. I don't know. I don't want to sell you short.
We're like 10.
10. Okay,
like
cool.
$1.5 million or $2 million.
See what I'm saying? So there you go. So it's different. So I don't know what his goal is, right? My goal is by this year to cross over 300,000 in cash flow, right? Like actual cash flow, not like business actual cash flow. Like that's the focus, right? So okay, that's a big goal. How do you hit these goals? Well, what you do to keep you on, because there's a lot that goes into that, right? So what you do is you set small goals and you hit that. You get excited and you reward yourself through the reward. So like for example, you put on the video. Okay, cool. You might want to do 10,000 views. Celebrate when you hit 500. So I bet we grown. Celebrate when you get to 1,000 views. You know what I'm saying? Stuff like that. Find something that, okay, it might not mean a shit of beans for you know what I'm saying, on the pay scale. You know what I'm saying? But guess what? It means something to you. It's growth. You get excited about that, and what you do, that give you the motivations. Like, all right, bet, I'm gonna push the needle forward. The next time we're gonna go for this, and that's what I always do. So I know, okay, great. If I want to do that, then okay, by June, July time frame, I gotta be somewhere, you know, at least 150, 200, and you know, to know that I'm on track. And I go celebrate. We go travel, something like that, do a vacation, and then you get back to work. The problem is that we think we gotta work, and we run ourselves dry. And then, you know, when we don't hit the goal, or it looks foggy, we stop.
We don't celebrate the little.
We don't celebrate the small wins because we want the big win to post on social media.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? To make it look like we doing good.
Exactly.
And most people aren't living the life that they post.
That's a fact.
That they live in. You know what I'm saying?
And you can't let other people's success dictate your success either.
Oh nah, bro. I grew out of that, man. I used to do that, man.
Yeah, but like I remember this one. It was like, because me being a comedian and a content creator, I gotta have my profile public, so anybody can, you know what I'm saying? And they're like, bro, you celebrating 1,500 views? Where's that? I'm like, bro, to other people it's not nothing, but I'm getting this out the mud.
Yeah, that's 1,500 people that saw my content.
You know what I'm saying? I'm like, damn. I'm like, I ain't know what I'm saying? I'm like, this is baby steps for me.
Yeah.
If it, just like you said, when I celebrated 1,500, then I celebrated 2K. Then when I got 3K, I was like, damn. Then when I got 5K, I was like, damn. So then when I'm like, bro, when I keep reaching, when I hit 10K, then I'm gonna say something. You know what I'm saying? Like, bro, like you gotta celebrate your baby steps and what you gotta, cause your course of action and your success you don't gotta dictate what other people. You know what I'm saying? You got your own journey. You know what I'm saying? It's not like everybody's journey. Sometimes people, sometimes it's a slow process. I'm getting out the mud, so I'm gonna celebrate any kind of close accomplishment I have. You know what I'm saying? I had a 10,000 view video. You know what I'm saying? I had a fellow comedian that I used his audio to use a skit, and he posted on his page, little stuff like that. I'm like, bro, I know that I'm doing something right, and I'm going to continue to put, you know what I'm saying, don't let other people's success dictate what you got going on right now, because people got 2 different journeys.
Facts.
You know what I'm saying? Don't do that. You know what I'm saying? Like, it took me a while to, you know, to get that, because I was like, you know what I'm saying? But I was like, nah, bro, this is a step for you. You know what I'm saying? You going, you know, slowly but surely, but you going. You know what I'm saying? So that's another thing. Don't let other people's success dictate where you at, and then you let them minute you because they doing something else and you right here. No, that's your success. That's a good step for you. Make sure you know what I'm saying, so you can be proud of you. Some people, you know what I'm saying, get down in the dumps because they see that and they're like, oh, this ain't nothing. No, take your time. You know what I'm saying? Take your time, be consistent, and you gonna be okay.
Nah, for real.
So I literally highlight real.
I mean, and you know, real quick before we wrap up, you know, that, you know, and that's a good point. That's the small, celebrating the small wins in your life's journey is important, because, like you said, we get so caught up in what the end goal looks like, but in order to get to that end goal, you would have had to accomplish smaller things to get to that point. And if you don't celebrate those smaller things, in your case, you almost gave up. You know what I'm saying? So. Things may seem far and foggy, and it may seem dim at certain points, but once you get to where you want to be in life in general, the steps you took to celebrate those small steps in the right direction is what ultimately helps you keep going, keeps you sharp as far as staying focused on what that bigger end goal is. And once you get to that point and you look back and you're like, damn, like I almost gave up, but I kept at it because I was able to keep myself sharp and focused by celebrating, you know, 5K in views or 10 million in sales or whatever that goal is.
That's a fact.
Yeah. So it's important.
Down to understanding that the true joy is in the journey.
Yeah.
Right.
And the journey is the actual joy.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because when you look at people who are successful, when they're giving their, you know, congrats speech, stuff like that, they never talk about where they are now. They always credit what it took to get there. I'm glad I didn't give up. Or they give their they give their thank yous to those who helped them along the way.
Yep. They was at their lowest moment and they did.
Absolutely. And then when people look back and they say the good old days, you know what people talking about? When they was in the trenches. The good old days never really the present time. The good old days is when we was in the trenches, when we was grinding, we was building this up to get to where we are. So sometimes when it's like they say, it's hard to see the forest through the trees. Sometimes you got to be able to step back and say, all right, look, this is what I'm going after, but let me enjoy this process because it's lessons that can be learned from that can help you. There's no real true failure, there's no true loss, there's only lessons. And if you could, and every time you hit, you don't miss. Why didn't I hit? Why didn't I hit? Okay, and learn from it. Did I not give it? Did I not pull back? Give enough strength? Did I quit along the way? Did I stop? You got to evaluate and keep going. So that's really what it is.
You have any closing thoughts and remarks before we wrap up?
Yeah, man. Listen, the reality is that being financially educated is important. Being your own boss is important. I truly believe. I tell people, every black man, especially if you're a father, you need a couple things, right? You need a LLC. Doesn't matter if you're pushing the business or not. Just get an LLC. You can always switch it, build on it, whatever, right? Get an LLC, get an IRA, right? Everybody should have an IRA, and get you a GUN. Gun. Some of y'all think like, what's that? Yeah, no, legit. Get strapped up. You know what I'm saying? Get that gun license. It's for real. You know what I'm saying?
And go to the range.
Yeah. Don't be out just blasting, shooting, hitting. You know what I'm saying? Like, yo, y'all just close your eyes shooting, bro. Like, God. You know what I'm saying?
Know how to break it down, clean it, put it back together, all that.
Don't cheddar bob yourself. Please don't cheddar bob yourself.
No, or black silver bears. Or black silver bears. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, because and then
he had a holster.
In fact, shot himself in the foot. Lucky he ain't hit a damn vein, bro.
Yeah.
Wow, bro. And then if you're a father, every black father should have anywhere from $250,000 to $500,000 life insurance policy.
Yeah, that's a fact.
We won't have to worry about the police killing us if we all had life insurance.
That's true.
The insurance companies will make sure they stop killing us because they'll get tired of having to pay out $500,000 every time we get shot dead in the street.
That's true.
So in addition to those three things, get you life insurance. It don't cost that much. We can talk about options if you really want to talk.
Less than a cup of coffee. G?
Outside of thanking y'all for inviting me on the pod,
oh, yeah,
you know what I mean? I think to the listeners, the viewers, I would say instead of renting that apartment and putting down all that money for security deposit that you never gonna see again, first and last month's rent when you didn't even live there last month.
Right.
Honestly, man, take your time and research the home buying process, man. If you got questions, hit me on Instagram. Give me a call. My number on my Instagram is real estate.
I'll follow you now. Oh yeah.
And we could talk.